Start.
Hello viewers, a very warm welcome to the second in a series of promotional videos for my book. For those of you who missed the first video, my name is Pam Handa, nee Kochar. I was born in New Delhi, India. I was educated in Sacred Heart College, Dalhousie, and later went on to do my Masters in English at the Chandigarh University. In 1968, I got married to Dr. Prem Kumar Handa, and in 72, we emigrated to Ghana, the former Gold Coast. Now, my passion and flair for poetry led me to get involved in writing a few poems of all kinds. And I think it would be quite in order for me to tell you a little bit about the history of this work. My books are very cross-cultural, and so are my poems. I believe in the diversity of everything. The subject matter is diverse in each poem, the thoughts are diverse in each poem, and the characters are also pretty diverse. And as we go along, I'll tell you step by step how this came along. My initiation into becoming a poet began in 2001 when I was living in Ghana. And actually, I would like to tell you a little story about how the first poem was written and how the title of the first book was conceived. We had a very pretty patio in our house in Accra, and I would sit there every morning trying to write bits and pieces of whatever came into my mind. One fine morning, as I was busy engaged in my poetry writing, I saw a little gecko circling my chair repeatedly. I looked at it and shooed it away, but of course, it just wouldn't go. It looked at me boldly and with its big bright eyes stared at me. I set my imagination to work. I looked back at it and thought, what is this bold creature looking at me for? And guess what I had in mind? Guess at the thoughts that came to my mind? This little creature was pleading to me and saying to me, Pam, how about writing a poem about me? I'm not that bad. And this set my mind ticking. I was surely going to write a poem about this little gecko. And so, viewers, this proved to me the defining moment of choosing the title of my poem. And here's my first book of poems entitled The Wild Gecko. Now this gecko wasn't wild in any way as such, but it was wild because it loved dancing and prancing and had a wonderful attitude towards life. We'll come back to that in a bit, but first of all, let me get back to the diverse subjects of all my poems. I think I've written about any and everything. I've written emotional poems, romantic poems, spiritual poems, religious poems, cultural poems, philosophical poems, and anything else you can think of. And I thought it would be a good idea not to confine myself to a particular subject. As far as the romantic poems are concerned, the major influence in my life were the 18th century romantic poets, Wordsworth, Keats, Shelley, and so on. Whether it was the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, or whether it was, We Are Seven, or whether it was Daffodils, all those poems had an immense influence on my young mind. Now talk about the subjects of these poems. As I've told you, there were many. And to suit the content of each poem, I decided to make the characters also very diverse. I would have, in one poem, if I had a pessimist, in the other one I had an optimist. And very quickly I would don the robe of the person I wanted to portray. I would become happy, sad, emotional, sentimental, according to the mood of the poem. Now we have the diversity in the subject matter, diversity in the titles, and also diversity in the thoughts that I wanted to talk about. I would have my images, my poetic images gave a panoramic view of all the millions of thoughts that come to mind. The happy ones, the sad ones, the glorious ones, the dejectful ones, the despair, the hope, and so on. And so it happens that viewers, my books are full of all these kinds of things. After I had written The Wild Gecko, I wrote another book entitled Amazing Grace. Now this title does not reflect the very popular Western hymn called Amazing Grace. Rather, it is based on a beauty salon, a parlor in the center of Accra, the capital of Ghana. This contains, as the subtitle clearly explains, a medley of multicultural tales and verses. Now I'd had enough of culture and all these different thoughts, and I suddenly realized I should have a book dedicated to the millions of romantic and sentimental thoughts, matters of the heart. Not just the matters of the heart, but I wanted to get to the heart of the matter, the very soul of things. And that's when the third book, Wings of the Heart, was written. These three books were self-published in Ghana, and they were launched a couple of times in various places. And this beautiful book, Wings of the Heart, is also a collection of poems based on matters of the heart. When I came to India, I decided that these three books should be collated into one big book. That's when the idea of a big Wings of the Heart title came into my mind, and this is the picture that you will see on my book Wings of the Heart, which contains 80 poems on varied subjects. They say old is gold, and that is the reason I chose to put an old photograph of mine. And I think you will all like it very much. Moving on to, or rather back to my book, The Wild Gecko, I think I would love now to read the title poem of this book, because I must go back to where I began. The first poem in my very first book, The Wild Gecko. Again, it talks about the diversity of the world, and what I've done is I've personified the gecko and imagined that it is talking to the world. Another thing that this poem actually reflects is the Hindu philosophy of the transmigration of the soul. I'm imagining the gecko wants to become a human being, and what will happen when he does become a human being after many, many lives in this world. So here you go, viewers, The Wild Gecko. I'm a wild gecko. I love prancing around the rocks and plants on these tropical isles. Isn't it fun to be dancing along a dance floor that stretches for miles and miles? I love to practice the quick step and the samba. Waltz around, foxtrot, or even do the samba. I feel so free in my open home, chainless and happy where I am wont to roam. Thank God I'm not ugly like my country cousin, the lizard that devours little folk by the dozen. I'm glad I haven't taken after the chameleon who've been changing colors for eons. In this wonderful world of multicolored creeds, millions belong to various clashing creeds. Thousands are waiting for their heaven, I can tell, as they ring aloud their church bell. Some religiously follow a way of life fanatic. In their godly pursuit, they are purposeful, not erratic. There are those who have no time to sieve, nor the inclination to the truth from illusion retrieve. If I were reborn a Hindu, I'd have to believe one day my puny physical frame I will leave for a higher plane depending on my worldly deeds. Perhaps to a new life away from these reeds. If my soul is a tiger bright or a monkey droll, I'll be expected to play quite a different role. After millions of births, when I reach the stage of man, I wonder how I'll cope, or even if I can. My reincarnation from wild gecko to something other. Let's hope my hard-won freedom won't smother. In the meantime, I'm really excited to ruminate about the times when I shall finally transmigrate. Whatever happens after life and at whatever rate, I'd hate to ever change my free and friendly gait. Thank you, viewers, but don't forget to look me up on Facebook. Just go to Auntie Google, search my name, and you'll get all my links there. And I'll also be putting up my links with this video on YouTube. Thanks for being so patient, and thanks for being with me for this time.